Today I'm going to try to get my tail light panels tacked in. I'm going to take my lights out. The first thing I'm going to do is wipe the insides of these out, clean them with some lacquer thinner, and then I'm going to spray it with some weld-through primer. That's where we're going to start. So next we're going to take these clips out. I'm not going to need them. It'd be a waste just to store them, hide them under there this whole time. So our Cadillac lights don't accept a backup light, so we cut that out of the way. One wire is a ground. Keeping that exposed isn't going to do anything. I'm not going to worry about sealing that up. Maybe I will, just to make it weather tight. But I have these little heat strings I'm going to put on here just to cover them up. Those wires aren't going to bother no one. I've already pushed in the little marker light. Just trying to make some extra room in here. Obviously these are going to be cut when I put the new light in, but I don't want to snip those just yet. Just kind of get it out of the way so when I get ready to cut the tail light, this is out of the way. So that's tucked in there enough. It's sad to think the time we live in, ordering a simple taillight filler would be off by this much. And it's that long. So this is what I'm going to do to try to remedy that. Alright guys, so on this side I got my top line cut already. So I want to show you how I got that measurement. I'm going to show you on the bottom. After we do the bottom, then obviously we'll come over here and do this side. So I made sure I was touching here and here. Then I kind of scribbled a line down here. I drew a line there and there. I took my caliper gauge and I measured. They're both the same. So now what we're going to do, we're going to lock this top. So we're going to lock the top so it don't move. And then we're just going to scribe a line. So that's how much we're going to take off. So now we got a line all the way across. So now I want to take a piece of tape and go over that line right up to it. So now my line is right against the tape. So I just have to cut right against the tape. There we go. They're in, they're tacked. All I got to do now is grind them down. See if there's any spots I need to fill. And then do a final tack weld and grind, and we get ready for the Cadillac buckets. Put these guys in. So that'll come next. We got our line all mapped out. So I put a scribe where the halfway point was. I measured this with my micrometer, and I went to half that point and scratched it, confirmed it, measured from here and from here. So I transferred that mark on the inside, and so I figured out where I wanted my line here. I just lined those up, and with my tape laid down, I traced it. And then I cut it out with a knife, a razor blade. Then I had marked the inside with a black marker. So I'm going to try to keep the tape here just as a guideline, but if it gets ripped off, I'll have the black line to follow. So this is where I decided I wanted to put it at. I didn't want to go lower than that body line. So let's cut it out. Okay, so I'm gonna use my air hammer with this cutter bit to open it up. Alright, so got the holes made for the bucket, but we have this problem right here and right here. So this is what I have that I've been using. Put my ear protection on real quick. So I'm still tight over here, so let me use a different hammer for that. Alright, I've got a clearance in the back, we're fitting pretty good. But we may have to trim some of this back, push some of this back, like we did on the other side. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drill some holes so I can actually mount the light in it and push it in and see if I have clearance issues. Because I had issues up top on the other side. Alright, so we punched a hole here, folded down the body line, punch this down, got our tail light in. So what's going to happen is when we start pushing it in, it's going to start turning this away. This side's going to push in, this side's going to push out. So something on this side is pushing it. I had the same problem on the other side. Alright, so we punched a hole here, folded down the body line, punch this down, got our tail light in. So what's going to happen is when we start pushing it in, it's going to start turning this away. This side's going to push in, this side's going to push out. So something on this side is pushing it. I had the same problem on the other side. So right there, if you see that, I push it in, it starts to twist. So I'm pretty sure it's right here where it comes out. But on the other side, I just started pushing stuff out of the way and beating stuff up. I'm not going to do that this time. Take some paint. I'm just going to lather it up. Make it heavy. Make it droopy. Now, I'm going to push it in. We really want to slide on what it's hitting. There's a little tiny paint right there. I don't know if you can see it, but right there, just turn some green on. So we're going to grab our, oh, it's hitting right here too. That must be the other light socket. So I'm going to grab my air hammer and just push that in some more. I got my bucket tacked in over here and on this side. I had to cut this off because it was in too far, so I had to pull it out some. So it's going to take a little bit of work, but everything inside is pushed back, cut up, bent. Looks pretty rough in there. But it is where it needs to be. So like I said, I tacked it. So next I'll get the cutoff wheel on my grinder. I'll just cut it close, but not against it, because I can grind it down to finesse it to fit. So I got this one cut, grinded, and welded in. So this is my light. It's going to be a little closer than I originally wanted, but it'll be okay. So I just realized I didn't explain how I got them to fit in there to make them matching depths. So I took my micrometer and I measured to the middle point from the edge. So I came to about 1.7, and then I scratched it in the body and put a black dot there. So I did that, so I knew on both sides that point is where I was measuring to. So then I just put my tip right there. Actually, I turned it upside down, give me more depth. So I got my number. Which I think was 978 when I originally did it, but it's tacked in now. Both sides were the same. So I did that. And that's how I got my number. Yeah, 989. And then they both have, you know, a weld point back here. So I measured from that spot to where the crease is in the body. which was pretty small, less than 1/4 of an inch if I remember. Yeah, 208, that sounds about right. So I measured this one, then I measured that one, then I tacked them in place. So that's how I got my measurements to make them both even on both sides. Alright, so we have both our tail lights on. Well, both our tail light buckets in. Now we're going to do some grinding, smooth it out. And see if we need to do any more filling with the welder. Alright, they're in. Got them in. They're fitting pretty good. I got a little finessing to do around here. Put a little body filler. I'll probably zap another weld in here. And then we'll be able to smooth it all out with some body filler. So I'm happy with the way they're looking. And then we'll smooth out the roll pan. So after I welded it, you gotta hit it with the grinder. And then I hit it with a flat disc after that. And then I use my stripping pad to strip the paint away. So when I go to put my body filler in there, it's got something good to bite on. Man, don't that look good? I'm gonna be honest with you guys. At first I was unsure. I thought I made a mistake, but I feel pretty good now. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I'll have an update next video. Yeah, I like that. If you're liking these videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the videos, come back for more content. Thank you.